All right, I don't even care about this anymore. Okay, I'm just kidding. So this is like my fourth time trying to do this, and the second time was my cat jumping up onto my computer and somehow hitting the power button that is covered by this coaster, my Albion Giant Sleep coaster that sits on top of it. Somehow jumped and like pushed it at the same time, and then pushed the button down, and then voila, I had to start over again. The next time, my headset died. The fourth time, I forgot to bring this microphone down so that it's active. So here I am again, and you don't even know that this is the fourth time or fifth time or however many times it's been that say, hey, my name is Majabusha. I'm a nobody on the internet, but hey, I want to give you my thoughts on the whole FBI see, I can't even talk now. FBI investigation with all this gambling stuff, illegal poker games, all that. That's come out. You know, it's involved multiple crime families, such as it's named like the Gambino families in there, one of the more popular names of all time. In the spaces, if I remember correctly, I haven't looked into it in a long time. Is that the Chicago area? I don't 100% remember. But my thing is, none of this is a surprise. Okay, none of this is a surprise, but it's such a big deal because we actually have people getting caught. Why do I think it's getting caught? Because of the online gambling and legalization of gambling that's been happening in the last 3, 4, 5, however many years it's been happening. This movement to get everything legalized in every state as soon as possible, as much as possible, as many as possible. There's several that you can do sports book stuff with now that it used to be like maybe 2, 3, 4, and now there's probably like 20. And then as far as the player prop stuff goes, like Underdog Fantasy or Better just came out recently. I just started that last week. DraftKings been along a long time. FanDuel stuff, you know, all that stuff, right? All that stuff started becoming legal in the recent years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And if you're not in a state that's legal, you have neighboring states where it is legal. If you care to participate in it. And I think without the legalization of gambling, we would not get to this point. There wouldn't be all these whispers or murmurs and all that happening. But now here we are where we are. 30 individuals across 10, 11 states, I think it was. I mean, players like Chauncey Billups, former players that are coaches like Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, they were all arrested and, you know, interrogated. Well, interrogation is the wrong word really. Interview, questioned about stuff, you know, by the FBI, everything that's going on. And to me, it's like, okay, the NBA specifically, it's a league with 30 teams, 15 players per team. That's 450 players. If 10% of the players in the league, let alone coaches, let alone referees, like, you know, we've talked about Tim Donaghy in the past and stuff he's brought up and is well documented. You know, a former member of one of those type of families, Michael Franzese. I'm sorry if I said that incorrectly the first time. I don't 100% remember how to say your name. No disrespect or anything. I just can't remember. He's talked about how he's had a player that cost him money one week and said, hey, I'm going to have to make that money back. And I lost it because of you. So this week you're going to have to fumble 3 times. And I'm going to take you on the under rushing yards. And you're going to have to be under that. And as long as I get my money back, we're good. But if I don't get my money back, there's going to be some bad consequences for you. Right? So what's the player going to do? Okay, well, what do you got? Again, you're going to fumble 3 times. You're over under set at, let's just say 65. You know, whatever. What the number is, 65 and a half, whatever. In the first, let's say in the first quarter, he fumbles twice, and then going into the second quarter, he's only got 15 yards, fumbles another time in the second half, and then he's benched for the rest of the game. That's an easy under win, right? You can control the unders a lot more in situations like that than you can in overs. So you're going to see that a lot, I think, based on what's happened in the past. And it's just frustrating because, again, if 10% of the NBA players, just players, are involved in this at any point in time, what families are involved with what referees and those and the players again. I mean, I don't think any of this gets found out without the legalization of gambling, and it kind of makes me wonder if that's why it started becoming legal everywhere, why it kept getting pushed so quickly. Oh, this would be great for everybody, and really what we're doing is saying it'd be great for everybody, but great for us because now we can find, more holes, more secrets, more illegal activities going on throughout everything, and just be able to take everything down. Again, 30 individuals, former players, former coaches. I mean, stuff like that is happening all over the place. I mean, we're even talking about people going back to find clips of somebody saying to a player at the free throw line saying, "Hey, if you make these two, who's going to win it in the end?" And then the player makes both free throws. Game goes to overtime. Then said player hits a game-winning shot. Like, people are going back and finding this stuff out just by reading the words from things that happened years ago. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's kind of my take on all this. Is I think this doesn't happen without the legalization of gambling, and how widespread it's been. And this is just the NBA we're talking about. What about the NFL, the NHL, the MLB? Hi, Riley. Thank you for going that way, silly cat. Um, so there's just so much going on with all this. I'm not surprised by any of it. I think at the end of the day, you just got to pay attention. I mean, I know like my tracker's not really out there, and I don't really care about that stuff, but I've been going against the spread in the NFL for the last several years, say 5 years. Started in 2020. So this is my sixth year doing just against the spread picks. I just find it to be more challenging, more thought-provoking, a lot more fun for me than just saying, oh, this team will win. Oh, I think this team upsets. I'm going to put whatever on them or whatever. And I just think it's just a lot more fun. To be considered professional, you got to be at least 53, 54%. I'm usually averaging between 56, 58%. But I'm in a place where that's not legal and I can't do it. So I have to do player props and just have fun with it. And that's fine with me. But it makes you wonder, these player props, like tonight, Luka's line was 28.5 or 31.5 and down to 28.5, or 28.5 down to 26.5, something like that. It was like that on the Better app. I do know for sure Giannis was at 31.5 originally, and then it went down to 30.5 for just his normal line. So that movement scares me a little bit, but we'll just see. Point is, with all this, is we shouldn't be at all surprised by any of it. This is stuff that's been going on for years, undocumented, maybe some hints there. But the problem for me is the NBA clearing that player, and then for the FBI to say, oh no, that player was not clear. And this happened without Adam knowing. This would never happen over David Stern. David Stern would be like, no, F you. You're not doing stuff without me knowing. But with Adam Silver, like, he had no idea this was taking place. And we find all this stuff, man. 30 individuals at least have been arrested. Right. Just 30. And again, I'm not even mentioning coaches for just the NBA. I mean, there's some named here, but there's so many coaches on staff. Head coach, offensive head coach, defensive head coach, like NFL wise, it maybe that's kind of the same way in the NBA. I don't remember exactly. I didn't follow the NBA a lot closely in the last 11 years, but coaching staff wise, you usually have a minimum staff is probably like 5 different coaches, like maybe a position coach for each. Maybe one coach is defensive on the defensive end with his analyst. Maybe a team has up to 20 coaches, and really some of them are just stat data analysts or mechanical work, whatever it may be. But it's just like, do any of them have information about injuries? are they leaking stuff out to friends or family members or any of these crime families that have been mentioned? Like, hey, yo, Steph actually injured his finger last night, um, and it's not being talked about. So I would take the under on his points on Friday night. What if that's going on? It's very possible in today's world, and now it's only just getting exposed because I think again of the legalization of the whole gambling process. Like I just, how else would this come to be? Like more people in public are mad about something that they would have never been mad about before. So then there's an outcry. There's more focus. There's more attention to that particular kind of thing. And I want to know how long this, this target sweep has been going on. Like, how long did it take the FBI to figure out this is going on here, this is going on there? Hey, he told us about this thing. Oh, he told us about this poker game at this person's house every Thursday, or every time they're in LA, or every time they're in New York, or every time they're in Miami, or they're in Memphis, or whatever the case may be, Dallas, etc. All this stuff. So to me, at the end of the day, does it ruin sports for me? No. It's still entertaining. It's still a lot that I can dive into, at least NFL wise. I still like to look at matchups. I like to look at coaching. I like to really think about the numbers, if they make sense or not. Like for me, I was talking to my friend Van at work earlier, and I was like, I don't get this Houston Texans line with the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners are +2 at Houston. The Texans defense is good, but the offense has been awful all season. They're 2-4. The Niners are 5-2, and to me, the records don't really matter that much. But publicly, if you're just an average Joe, if you're looking at records and you're like, the team with +2 points is the team that has the better record, that plays that has beat the Rams, who's probably the second or third best team in NFC. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take them with the points. On the other side, you're looking at, why are the Texans favored? Yeah, okay, home field, I got you. So if you want to say on a neutral field you think it's an even game, then okay. But I just think this line just doesn't make sense to me. Why is Houston, a team that has scored only 20 or more points against the Ravens, who has an awful defense this year, they scored 44 against them. They have scored 19 or less points in 4 of their other games. Okay, what's the other game they scored like 21, 22? I forgot it. I can't remember, but they scored 9 against the Rams to open the season. I remember that. They scored 10 against, was it 10 against Jacksonville? I think they only scored 10. It was like 20-10 Jacksonville, I'm pretty sure. It's just like, I don't understand why this team is favored. I understand it's a home, but favored by 2 points. For if anything, I think they should be getting probably a point. I think that San Francisco, I understand the defensive injuries. You're missing your sack leader; he's out. You've got Warner with the most tackles on the team. I think it was 54 or 55 tackles on the season, through these 7 games. And he is on IR for who knows how long. But they just got Kittle back last week. Looked pretty solid. Looked like he was healthy. Don't know if it's Mac Jones or if it's going to be, oh God, why am I losing his name? I can see his face. Brock Purdy. But I don't see that much difference between those two quarterbacks anyway. Point value wise and like playing a game wise, maybe Purdy makes better decisions sometimes. But to me, and also like both head coaches are good, but like Kyle Shanahan has been a head coach from a lot longer, has played in a tougher division. It's really a lot of close games in that said division. The AFC has mostly been like Colts been trash, Jags been average when they're supposed to be above average. Texans been recently above average or better. Tennessee's been mostly awful ever since they should never fired Bravo. That's ridiculous. This isn't a conversation for another day, but like last 3 years they've been playing pretty soft teams and they've been getting those wins pretty much not for free but a lot easier. And now like the Colts are tougher. The Jags are still kind of the Jags. Um, but I don't know, like that to me that line is fishy, and I cannot, I can't. Okay, let me pull my phone out right now. I'm gonna look on underdog. I'm gonna go to NFL. CJ Stroud. All right, you can see my phone's still loading. Well, it's white. Okay, you can see it's loading. I haven't looked at this. I'm not looking at this. CJ Stroud under over yards. I'm gonna say 218.5 is the over under on that. Where is it at? San Francisco, Houston. Okay, I was actually over that. That's 205, right? 205.5. Now, I just, again, they've been struggling. And it's a defense. I mean, Saleh's a very good defensive coordinator. Playing a tougher division, they deal with Stafford and they deal with Darnold being really solid this last year and a half. And I mean, he's just in that division this year, but I'm pretty sure they played him last year too. But it's just like, all right, so on this app, it's 205.5. Now I'm going to go to better. BETR. I originally said 218.5, so I want to see if this one's any closer to that. I don't have any of the other ones installed on my phone. Actually, I don't even think I remember my login for DraftKings or FanDuel. I don't think not since I got this phone. I don't remember it. All right, so NFL, San Francisco, Houston. Stroud 200.5. So it's 5 yards less that you have to get the over on. Or you can play less than. I mean, nobody's expecting Stroud to do very well. I mean, let's go look at what he's done this year. They've had 6 games. How many yards he's thrown for? Like 1,000, 1,200, maybe. NFL. Niners, Texans. Stroud has thrown for 1,305 over 6 games. Sorry, that's 217.5. I said 218.5. That's what it should be at. And one app says 205.5. One says 200.5. This says 217.5 over 6 games. And again, there's there we go. Where'd it go? Oops. I slowed it down. 1305. Right there. 1305. So now let's go look at CJ each game, right? I'll just read it because I know it's hard to see it on here. Last 5 games. And we'll go least recent to most recent. Tampa Bay, 207 on 24 attempts. Jacksonville, 204 on 38 attempts. Tennessee, 233 on 28 attempts. To be fair, he was like 80% complete on that one. Baltimore, worst defense arguably in the league. 27 attempts, 244, was 85% on that. Threw 4 touchdowns. So of his 11 touchdown passes, 4 of them came one game. So he's not even averaging 1 per game if you take that one outlier out versus the worst defense in the league. Versus Seattle last week, threw it 49 times, threw it for 229. Okay, so what have we learned just now? Against bad defenses, okay, so Baltimore, he was very good. Over mediocre defenses, Tampa Bay, Jacksonville is spicy at times. Tennessee is here and there at times. I mean, he hasn't hit the 205. He did hit one out of those two games, and then the Tennessee game, I don't know, it's kind of outlier to me too because 26-0, he's playing. He probably had most of those attempts in the first half. Probably had like maybe 5 or 6 in the third quarter, and then they ran the ball the rest of the game, type of thing. Um, Seattle, really good defense, really good minded head coach for that defense. We see what Baltimore's losing without having Mike McDonald there. Sorry, wrong, Mike. Um, Against them, he threw it 49 times, 229 yards. It took him 49 passes to get 229 yards. You know how many people, without looking at this information, thinking about who they're playing against, would take the under? I mean, would take the over? For me, I mean, I think it should have been 218 and a half off the top of my head. It's 205 somewhere, 200 somewhere else. You think I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take the over on that? This I can't prove that versus a good defense he's gonna do that. So I'm going to either go to better and raise it up to 225 and then do less, or whatever they give me as option, or just play less than what they give me at the face value. So I don't know. Like this last like 5 minutes pretty much had nothing to do with what I really wanted to talk about, but it just hit me as I was talking about it, and it's just I don't know. That line's fishy to me, and I just feel like, I mean, can the Texans score more than? Okay, so how many points do you think the Texans have to score to win the game against San Francisco? Off the top of your head, to me, the numbers like 24, 25, something in that area. That something that they haven't done more than like one time this year against the worst defense in the league. Now we're talking about one of the best defensive-minded coordinators in the game, in Robert Saleh, and we're talking about one of the best ball control, run, play action, offensive minds with this West Coast, and Kyle Shanahan as a head coach calling the plays. We've seen that versus a solid defense, CJ Stroud is not doing what he did in his rookie year even. So I don't know, man. Somebody explain why Houston is favored to me and why it makes sense. I feel like this should be at least San Francisco -1.5 at the least, maybe -2 on a road. This makes no sense to me, and it's why I'd set it away. You might think I'd take the money line plus whatever it is 130 if I was able to legally do that, or take the plus 2 if I could do that as well, but I can't. So what I got to do? Player props. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully y'all find something out of that and whatnot. I've never posted anything like this ever. It was on my mind. And I really want to talk about it. So if I have another video like this, I don't know. But is what it is. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night.